Howdy folks, Jambareeqi here. What is the Magic Roundabout?
The Magic Roundabout was a French stop-motion animated series. When it was brought to the UK, actor Eric Thompson was given the job of dubbing it into English. However, instead of translating it word for word, he gave the show his own spin. Thompson's eccentric and charming English dub was a huge success. It appealed to both kids and adults. In fact, some adults wrote letters of complaint to the BBC because they wanted the show to be broadcasted at a time suitable for working adults. The Magic Roundabout was like the Adventure Time or Friendship is Magic of its day. It was aimed at children but gained a fan base from all ages. In 1970, the series was adapted into a wonderful feature-length film called Dougal and the Blue Cat, which I reviewed ages ago.
And in 2005, the show was rebooted as a CGI movie.
The Magic Roundabout is a British-French computer-animated fantasy adventure based on the stop-motion TV series of the same name. Dougal, Dylan, Ermintrude and Brian are a group of enchanting characters who live in a strange world, where a magic roundabout is the centerpiece. All is full of harmony until Dougal accidentally releases the evil Zeebad from the roundabout and gets his beloved human friend Florence, plus 2 other kids, stuck in a frozen cage. Zeebad wants to collect 3 powerful jewels to help him freeze over the world. So, can our hero stop this crazed villain and free the children from their icy dungeon? For what it is, this movie isn't too bad and could have been much worse. The fantasy world that the film is set in feels very grand thanks to its wide variety of distinct environments and large, beautiful landscapes. Each area that our heroes confront offers some intimidating threats and challenging obstacles. Each place they visit is different and there's an exciting conflict around every corner. Sure, some scenes drag on a bit, I won't deny that, but the film does try to keep its pace up by constantly throwing obstacles at our heroes. They're not exactly highly original or unique obstacles, we've seen them before in other films, but they're still pulled off in a stimulating way through sharp tension and energetic pacing. There's also some fairly thrilling action scenes, like a cinematic magic battle between Zebedee and Zeebad, who amusingly use their mustaches to zap each other. That's pretty funny when you think about it. Plus, there's also a lively race across some train tracks between our heroes and villains. The rhythm of this race is kinetic and fast enough to get across some decent tension. It's full of quick-cut editing and high intensity. However, there are a few problems with the film that weaken its potential to be something stronger, something greater, something better. First of all, the characters don't know when to shut up. This gets aggravating. It's annoying when an animated film is afraid that its young audience will lose attention the instant there's a second of silence. As long as you make your film worth investing in, then you should have no fear about children's ability to pay attention to your visual story.
Sure, Dougal and the Blue Cat had the same problem, but this reboot does it on a way more frustrating level. Actually, higher than that. Yeah, a character will say something funny now and again, but for the most part the dialogue is made up of bad puns, forced lines, and lots of arguing. Which brings me on to my second problem with the film.
Second of all, I didn't get the feeling that these characters were loving friends. They spend most of the film bickering, arguing, blaming one another, and ripping into each other. So their relationship as a group seems a bit too mean-spirited. It doesn't help that there aren't many scenes of them hanging out as friends or moments of sentimental connection between them. Yes, there's a montage of them doing stuff together, but it's too short and overblown to appreciate.
It's bad enough that the characters spend most of the movie bitching at each other, but the film also doesn't give us a chance to really soak in the Magic Roundabout community. Instead, it dives headfirst into the main story straight away. It's like the filmmakers assume that everyone in the audience will be a Magic Roundabout fan, therefore they would be already attached to the characters and universe. No, that's a big no. Not only is it highly unlikely for the whole audience to be made up of Magic Roundabout fans, but you also have to remember that a lot of these fans haven't seen the show in a long time. A film has to work on its own. It's one whole experience, an entire sitting.
We only spend 5 minutes with our characters before they head off on their adventure, And these 5 minutes are made up of opera singing, a cover of a Kinks song, and Dougal trying to get some candy. That's about it. That's really not enough to make us fall in love with our hero's home. This reboot could have potentially helped us to draw a closer connection to the characters if it gave us a chance at the beginning to spend some time in the Magic Roundabout community, before jumping onto the middle act. I just think it's a wasted opportunity that makes the film's structure seem rushed. Dougal is kind of a jerk in this film. He's always finding excuses to do nothing, and he causes most of the hero's problems. However, you can tell that he has some good at heart and is genuinely worried about Florence. He does have a few funny moments too, and his cheeky attitude can be irresistibly cute sometimes. Dylan is without a doubt my favourite character in this reboot. He may be lazy sometimes, but he's so cool and laid back that it's hard to get annoyed at his idle habits. Plus, he does do more than Dougal for the most part. He also has the funniest lines in the film, which are shockingly made up of drug references. Now, the original Magic Roundabout didn't intend to have drug-related themes, but fans made theories about the characters being on drugs due to the show's trippy content, but Eric Thompson's wife denies any intentional drug-related material in the 1960s show.
Absolute rubbish. I don't think Thompson even popped an aspirin.
This film, however, really tries to throw on the cannabis jokes, and sometimes they're not even that subtle.
But the thing is, right... Hang on. Hello?
The Magic Roundabout reboot has bloody weed jokes.
Hi, Guru Larry. Yeah, there's loads of cannabis gags in this film.
Didn't parents freak out or protest about this?
Well, no. None of the characters actually smoke pot, and most of these weed jokes will go over the heads of kids. I, for one, think it's a great thing. It gives grown-ups something to laugh at. And the Magic Roundabout does have a fan base full of adults.
I do love me some weed jokes.
Yeah, me too, man. By the way, how did you get my number?
I have no idea. I'm very high right now.
Ermentrude is an opera-singing cow who takes herself a bit too seriously. Personally, I found her to be fun because of her over-dramatic diva behaviour. She's so ridiculously indulgent and snobby that it becomes highly amusing. She's like a goofy drag queen in the body of a cow. Brian is a sensible snail. He's very sweet and charming because he tries to keep refined, even though he's shy and vulnerable. He has a crush on Ermentrude and struggles to admit his feelings to her. Will he gather the courage to confess his attraction? Well, you'll just have to find that out for yourself. Zebedee is a wise old magician, sort of the Gandalf of the movie. He defends our heroes with his magic and instructs them on their mission. This makes his casting very perfect, something I'll talk about later in the voice acting segment. He doesn't have many scenes, but when he's on screen he's lots of fun because he's quirky and whimsical, while also being noble and dignified at the same time. Zebad is just an evil doppelganger of Zebedee, who wants to rule the world. That's about it. He's so underwritten and generic that he's boring. I also got aggravated by his constant monologuing. He goes on for ages, and all his monologues are about the same thing, ruling the world. Florence is a sweet little girl with a big heart and lots of internal strength. She doesn't get much screen time, but she is a likeable presence because she's so lovely and brave. It's kind of weird how she calls the other kids children when she's a kid herself, but I guess that just reflects her mature character. Soldier Sam is a loyal henchman to Zebad, but he's too friendly and pleasant to take his job seriously. He's a fairly amusing supporting villain with a progressive character arc and a very important role in the story. Not much else I can say about him. Train is kind of annoying. Yeah, he's sweet, but he's the character that talks the most. He barely ever shuts up and always has commentary for whatever scene he's in. He's sort of like the Jar Jar Binks of the movie, only a little less irritating. Now, fans of the TV show might enjoy seeing their beloved handmade puppets turned into CGI characters, but the novelty of this wears off once you've seen everyone. As for the actual character animation, it's actually not bad. It's nothing amazingly impressive, but it does its job well. Why? Each character has their own style of movement that captures their personalities spot on. Dougal shuffles around in hyperactive motions, Dylan slides about with a peaceful glide, Ermintrude communicates with theatrical movements, Brian drifts along at a slow and gentle pace, Zebedee bounces around with energetic whimsy, and Zebad moves with campy operatic glee. I'm glad that everyone acts their own way, because a lot of animated films just move all their characters the same way, and they end up being clones with no individual personalities. So yeah, the animation is decent. Not exactly mind-blowing, but that's the charm of it. It's what makes it humble. Pop star Robbie Williams plays Dougal, and it's perfect casting. Robbie's distinct, cheeky personality fits the rude, loudmouth Dougal. It's an ideal part for him to play. Robbie does a pretty good job by sounding energetic, emotive, and upbeat.
I think I'll take care of those lollipops first, and then, oh, those sherbets and those caramel creams.
Bill Nighy voices Dylan, and he's wonderful in the part. Dylan sounds effectively cool and laid back thanks to Bill's chilled delivery.
We should get some sleep, man.
Honestly, is that all you ever think about?
Sure, whenever I'm awake.
Joanna Lumley is brilliant as Ermintrude. She sounds gloriously melodramatic, which is very fitting for her diva character.
What a perfect venue for an open-air Verdi festival. People would flock here. La 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 la.
Not even sheep would flock to that noise.
La 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 la.
Jim Broadbent plays Brian. Broadbent's natural, tender voice is incredibly suitable for the slow pace and heartfelt snail.
Oh, this heat is making my horns curl. I must look a sight.
Oh no, Ermintrude, I think you look... That is, I find you... Look, in case we don't make it out of here, I just want you to know that...
All aboard!
Ian McKellen voices Zebedee. That's right, Gandalf himself plays the film's wise wizard character. Ian's performance is very enchanting, thanks to his high-spirited and majestic delivery.
Only by returning the enchanted diamonds to their original places on the Roundabout will you defeat Zebad. But if he finds them first, he will use them to freeze the sun.
Oh!
Zebad is voiced by Tom Baker. Even though there's little, if anything, to his villainous character, Tom is clearly having lots of fun in the role, gleefully bellowing every line in sinister joy.
Soon the diamonds will be mine, and I'll be able to turn this hideous green planet into a lovely frozen wasteland.
Florence is played by pop star Kylie Minogue. Now, before you get skeptic, let me assure you that she actually does a decent job. I know people are iffy about Minogue's acting skills, but I will admit that she's good as Florence. She may not sound like a little girl, but she certainly captures the confident maturity of her character, by performing her lines with bold assurance and hope.
My feet are frozen. I'm cold. Come on, children. We have to be brave.
Look, it's Florence.
Strange. For a second there, I thought I heard it. Oh.
Ray Winstone voices Soldier Sam. He sounds friendly, charming, and adorable, while also capturing the character of an obedient henchman.
Right then, Soldier. Look, this is all a bit new to me, so, what is it you're most afraid of?
Comedian Lee Evans plays Train, and because he talks too much, it's hard to appreciate his performance. I can't enjoy a voice that never shuts up and constantly comments on everything that happens around him. It's not Lee's fault, of course, it's the writing. But this overflowing dialogue hinders Lee's renowned charm.
Okay, wait here. That's what they said. Wait. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. What's this? I'll go in the tunnel. I'm a train. I like tunnels. I'll wait here. That's it, yeah. I'll wait. Just...
The original music score for this film, which was composed by Mark Thomas, is outstanding. It's the best achievement in the movie because it's so heartfelt, emotional, and epic. It's full of sweeping, majestic tracks, soulful choir-filled pieces, and laid-back guitar strumming. There's so much affectionate sentiment to every composition. This score is full of variety, and each track is applied to suitable scenes. It's honestly one of the best animated film scores I've ever heard. I'm not even joking! A lot of warm passion has clearly been injected into every composition because there's so many moving tracks. There's a few recognisable pop songs thrown in too. These jukebox picks may be good choices, but they're not as cinematically effective as the excellent score. The original music has a strong relationship with the visuals on screen, so it blends with the film more effectively than other people's famous hit songs.
To conclude, The Magic Roundabout is a passable effort with a wonderful music score, decent character animation, some perfectly casted voice talent, a grand setting that expands into different climates, and lots of different challenges for our characters that may be cliched but are certainly handled with good pacing and energy. However, a lot of the story seems rushed, the characters barely ever shut up, our hero's relationship seems too mean-spirited, and the villain is just a forgettable evil doppelganger with little much to offer. I'm going to give this film 3 strawberries out of 5. Now, if there's some of you out there still wondering if this movie is your cup of tea, then consider this. If you enjoyed such titles as Arthur and the Invisibles, or Frozen, then you may get a little something out of The Magic Roundabout. I've been Jambareeqi, and I hope you've enjoyed my review. Feel free to subscribe to my channel, and I encourage you to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. In the next episode, I'm going to review Balto. I also have fantastic news. On the 9th of June, at 8 PM, on YouTube, I'm going to be doing my first ever live stream. Yeah, how cool is that? So I'll see you there. Cheerio, folks.